The speech act here is my heroic commitment to the failure. Failure is equal to the impossibility inscribed in the heart of the language, language's ultimate failure to grasp, represent, or attain the real. The point of departure of my take on real is the dialectical processes within the history of 20th century art. Dialectics here is not the pre-modern oxymoron that is a figure of speech in which apparently two contradictory terms appear in conjunction. But the dialectics is the very moment of disjunction, the split that cleaves the one from within. Not into two parts, but the separation of one from itself, between something and nothing. The one and the void of its place. This gap that separates the one from itself is the Hegelian dialectical moment in its purest sense. In Lacanian logic, this minimal gap between ordinary and empty signifier, between the element and its place, is almost nothing where real emerges. My first misreading of real is the Hegelian reading of Kantian thing in itself in relation to modernist plinth. The plinth is the very gap that separates thing from itself. Real in this gap stands for the intervention of another dimension into the order of our reality as an act of purification. The plinth is not the transcendental plane that marks thing in itself, but on the contrary, the plinth is the very real, cut, gap that sustains the void as the impossible real limit of human experiences. This void is purely ambiguous in nature, marked by simultaneous attraction and repulsion in order to maintain the critical distance. My second misreading of real in relation to modernist object is apropos to Lacanian, the thing. The thing is not so much the inert presence which marks the symbolic space, introducing gaps and inconsistencies, but rather is the effect of these gaps and inconsistencies. Minimalist object as the negation of the modernist plinth sustains the plinth and its symbolic presence even deeper through the economy of subtraction, where something is equal to nothing. This anamorphic shift in perspective is the very notion of real that minimalist object articulates. My third and final reading of real as pure appearing is what Bourdieu calls minimal difference. Marked by Malevich square, where the difference between the thing and its place is minimal. This has its affinity with what Rancière calls the politics of empty set, of the supernumerary element which belongs to the set but has no definite place in it. In this precise sense, politics and democracy are synonymous. To me, in 21st century, art must remain to it what Bourdieu calls passion for real in order to imagine and speculate the new ways of social and political being. Thank you very much.
Pretty good.
You like? Was it good? Huh?
Hegel το ξέρει. Είναι όλα... Είναι πολύ art history.